Thinking about going electric in Colorado? If so, now is the time. Hi, I'm B. Harris, publisher of the Denver Urban Spectrum, here to share information about driving electric. The federal clean vehicle credit ends September 30th, and if you act now, you can claim up to $7,500 in additional savings. But here to tell you more is Colorado Energy Director Will Toor.
My name is Ruby Jones.
Nice to meet you, Will
Nice to
Toor.
meet you. Will Tour. Okay, great. Well, thank you for taking time to speak with me today, really about this very important subject. Well, for those who are unfamiliar, can you please briefly explain what qualifies as an electric vehicle and what types of vehicles are eligible for energy tax credits?
Yes, so when we say electric vehicle, we basically mean any vehicle that where you can plug it in to recharge it. So that means both battery electric vehicles where 100% of the time they are running on electricity. So you think of Nissan Leafs or Teslas or um, vehicles like the Chevy Blazer electric vehicle where they're always running on electricity. But it also includes what are known as plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, which are vehicles that can be plugged in and it will run, you know, some set of miles. It might be 30 or 40 miles all on electricity, but also have a gasoline engine. So if you think of, say, the Prius Prime or the Toyota RAV4 Prime or the Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid would be examples of those. And they are all eligible for both state and federal tax credits. The yeah.
Okay, great. And I think I got ahead of myself because I asked you about those tax credits, but what exactly are they? Are energy tax credits the same as a rebate?
So the way so there's a federal credit and a state credit. At the federal level, there's a credit of up to $7,500 for a new electric vehicle. Unfortunately, those are only going to be available for a very short time period because the Trump administration and the Congress just essentially repealed those credits. They were supposed to be in place through 2032, but they are actually going to expire at the end of September. So would strongly encourage anybody who's sort of on the fence thinking about buying an electric vehicle, now is really the time to go ahead and do that. The next 2 months, you'll probably get the best deals that you're going to get for quite a while. The way that that tax credit works is it can either be um, delivered through a rental. So in many cases, people decide to lease electric vehicles rather than purchase them, partly because the technology keeps improving. So a lot of folks, rather than being locked in, are like, well, I'll lease a vehicle for 2 or 3 years and then see where the technology's gone at that point. And there have been some great lease deals because when you lease, the dealer is able to take the full value of that federal tax credit and use it to reduce the cost of the lease. So if you think about a few months ago, there were deals out there like $19 a month for Nissan Leafs. That's how they were able to do that, was by monetizing that federal tax credit. Um, if instead you purchase a vehicle, the way that you would get the tax credit is that the next time that you file your federal taxes, so next spring, you would claim that tax credit when you are doing the filing, and you would get it as a reduction in what you owe on taxes. There's a little bit of complication there because the way the federal tax credit is a little bit complicated. So while essentially all EVs qualify for it for leasing vehicles, you have to look and make sure that the particular vehicle that you're buying qualifies for it if you're doing a purchase. Then the state credit, which right now is $3,500. also applies to any plug-in hybrid or battery electric vehicle. And it's similar to the federal credit, except that it's universal. So it applies to all vehicles. There's none of the limits that there are on the federal side. And you can take it in addition to the federal credit. And you you have the opportunity again either to do a lease and it'll be built into the cost of the lease and make the lease cheaper, or if you do a purchase, you can claim it when you file your taxes. There's also an ability, for dealers to claim it for you and take the cost off at point of purchase. So you should talk to the dealer about that option also.
I bet that is very helpful for people who are considering purchasing an electric vehicle and feel that it's cost prohibitive in any way. Now, where can people go to find the list of vehicles that do qualify for the federal credit before it expires?
So um, if you go to the EVco website, and I can get you that website, it will have all of that information.
Okay, great. And so, in terms of the point of sale credit, where the dealers are allowed to or able to reduce the cost at that purchase point, does every dealership do that, or is it only specific dealerships?
So it's up to the individual dealer whether they want to participate. And so you would need to check with the dealer.
So, in the next 2 months, though, they'll probably be more accepting of that, huh?
Yeah,
That's
no,
great.
I think that there are a lot of dealers out there who are very excited about selling as many electric vehicles as they can between now and September 30th.
I
And
bet. Yeah.
I just found that website. So for folks who want information on, both what vehicles qualify for the federal credit, as well as sort of the wide range of programs at the state level, you can go to evco.colorado.gov.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Now, with the expiration of the federal credits, you said that the state credits will still be around. What impact do you think that EV has had on the state of Colorado in terms of helping us have cleaner energy and a cleaner environment?
Yeah, there are so many benefits that electric vehicles bring to Coloradans. And there's certainly a really significant environmental benefit. Right now, vehicles are one of our largest sources of air pollution. So if you think of kind of the brown cloud and the ozone problem in Denver and the Northern Front Range, vehicles are a really big part of that. So moving to electric vehicles is really the only long-term solution to our ozone problem. Added to that, vehicles are one of the largest single sources of climate pollution. And, Colorado has science-based goals to reduce our climate pollution in half by 2030 and to get to net zero by 2050. And we can't get there without part of the solution being switching from burning gas to using clean electricity in our cars and trucks.
Well, I really, really appreciate you sharing all of this very useful information with me. You are making me want to head out and take advantage of that tax credit before it disappears. I am glad that the Colorado tax credits will be sticking around, but in the meantime, I'm going to head over to evco.colorado.gov and see what opportunities are available. It sounds great.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. One other thing that I should throw in there for folks who are lower income and have an older, like gas hog kind of a vehicle or an older, more polluting vehicle, we also have a program called Vehicle Exchange Colorado, and you'll find the information on the EVco website that allows folks who are getting rid of that older vehicle to get an additional incentive of up to $6,000 to help make that switch to an EV, to make sure that EVs are really accessible to everyone in Colorado.
Wow. I love that program. It reminds me of the push, pull, and drag when cars started to become a little bit more energy efficient, but this is like a whole new wave.
Yep.
That's great. Well, great. Thank you so much again for spending your time with me today and talking to me about these EV tax credits and the wonderful benefits of EV technology. And I am going to check it out. I encourage everybody to do the same.